Hey, my friends, we are on day 6 of our adventure learning about St. Patrick. And wow, we are in a time right now, right? They just had Easter Sunday. He's back in Ireland. He meets 6 friends. He has little Benin going along with him. He builds a fire for Easter. And the druids and the kings are saying, he must die. You can't do that because they have so many rules with their false gods. And so he needs to deal with the situation because all he wanted to do was go talk to the king, tell him about Jesus, and so he could tell the rest of Ireland about Jesus. But instead, he's going to have to fight with the druids. Let's see what happens. Benin was the first to hear the thunder of hoofs off in the distance. Remember, all the druids and the kingsmen, they all got on the horses and they were coming out after him. Horses, he said. They all were afraid. Patrick saw the fear in their eyes. He got up and said, "Let us call on angels to guide and protect us." Ding, ding, ding. The thing we should all do, all right? If we are fearful, call on the Lord. He will send angels to surround us. He will send angels anytime we need to have protection. He is there for us. So let's call on the Lord. Let's call on Jesus. Ask him to send angels to protect us. Love that. Then he began to pray. Remember, I wish you guys could count how many times it said that Patrick prayed during this short, tiny little story. I buckled to my heart this day Christ's angels to protect the way, with shields of light and power bright, to cheer and guide me on the way. Beautiful prayer, right? Then Patrick said, "Wait here, I will go alone." He didn't want the people who were afraid to have to go. So he's like, I got it. I could do it. Let us see whose weapons are more powerful, the angel's shield of light or the weapons made to hurt and harm. And off he walked alone in the wind and the rain. This time, even Benin was too frightened to argue with him. When the king and his band saw him coming, they reined their horses. "Who are you, and why have you come?" "I am Patrick. I have come in peace. I only wish to see the king and tell him of Christ our light." "So you lit the fire?" snarled the druid leader Locru. "Yes," said Patrick. Locru and the druids jumped from their horses to kill Patrick. Oh no. But they could not approach him. Something held them back. It was as if an invisible shield kept them from approaching him. So here's all the druids with their swords and their knives. They're going to kill Patrick. And there's like this shield right here. They can't get through. Something held them back. It was as if an invisible shield kept them from approaching. They grabbed their daggers and struck only the wind. Here, let me see if you guys could see this picture. It's kind of funny. They're trying so hard to get him, but they can't. When the king saw this, he was amazed. He saw the power of God, right? He saw the power of God's angels. The druids could not come near Patrick, but kept stabbing at the wind. The king started to laugh. His druids looked comical. "Enough," he shouted. "Patrick, tomorrow you are welcome in the Hall of Tara." So just what he wanted, to go see the king, right? The king said, "You're welcome, come. I wish to hear more of your Christ of the light." Then Locru and the druids barked, "Stop!" And then the king said, "Patrick is welcome into my halls." Locru and the druids did as they were told. They were slowly mounted their horses, but they were confused. The ride back to Tara, though, cleared their heads, but not in a good way. It cleared their heads to think, we're angry. They grew angry when they realized that they had appeared like fools. Uh-oh. Yep. When at last they were inside the walls of Tara, so that's kind of the palace, the king's place, right? Locru met with his druids in private. Here's what he said. "This man, Patrick, he must die. Tomorrow we will secretly leave for the crossword road very early in the morning. We will hide ourselves, and when he and his band cross there, we will rush up and kill him." Patrick, meanwhile, had walked back to his friends in hiding. When he saw them, he shouted, "Christ rules! Christ reigns! Christ conquers!" With only love. So the love of God had gone before Patrick, and it had been stronger than those guys with swords with anger in their heart, right? Then he began to laugh. "Tomorrow we'll see the High King at Tara Hill," just as he had intended, right? God again made the way for him. God made a way for Patrick to move forward on the path that God had intended for him, just like his parents prayed all the way back at the beginning of our story. Choose our son to do good things. And when you choose him to do good things, show him the path in your timing, God. And God just keeps continuing to do that. Isn't that cool? Now, a lot of these stories, Patrick lived many years ago, right? And so some of these stories are tales. Maybe not every little detail is true, but I love hearing about God. I know God is true. And I know God is strong. And if he sends angels to hold somebody back, I believe he could do it. How about you? All right. Go out. Christ our light. Think about him today. Pray to him. Talk to him today. Ask him what your path is, and in his timing, he'll show you too, just like Patrick. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.